And look at the distinctly different line those two drivers take. You can see there that right now it seems the fast way around this speedway is on the high side, as Nemechek in the 87 machine is now closing up on our pole sitter, Jeff Gordon. Three-car incident up in turn number 4 as Jeff Gordon goes underneath and retakes the lead. In fact, the lead for the first time from Ward Burton. 87 Joe Nemechek jumps underneath. Let's see if he can hold on and take the second spot away from the South Boston, Virginia driver. Sitting back in the 4th position, it's Steve Grissom. Right behind him, Chuck Bounds, and it's Jay. The laps on the board. Jeff Gordon has retaken the race lead, our pole sitter. The first Ford to sit on a pole in the Grand National Division in almost 4 years. We've had 8 different Grand National regulars drive to victory lane. No repeat winners so far. This is what we see every single year here, and it may hold true today. We may have a different winner. Jeff Gordon would sure like to be the 9th different victor. We got 34 laps on the books of the Rosa Stores 300 in Rougemont, North Carolina.
I really didn't expect to win. If we even ran a top 10 or a top 15, I was going to do backflips all the way down the front straightaway. You know, I knew how tough it was. Just finishing a race for me was a goal.
And so tonight, the old guard, George Snyder and Johnny Parsons and the resurgent Larry Dixon take on the young Lions. Eric Gordon, former Silver Crown Rookie of the Year, hoping he learned a winning lesson here a year ago. Robbie Stanley, twice a winner this year in sprints, series leader in that division. A dirt track charger who will smoke the tires and split the leaders on pavement as well. And this guy, Jeff Gordon, last year's hero in the open wheelers, now chasing stock car glory, but finding time along the way to win the Holman 100, the last outing for these spectacular cars. Jeff's still something when he gets in an open wheeler. Let the veterans think about that. With 2 Silver Crown wins, Gordon may have a wheel up on the competition. The world leader in motorsports coverage presents Speed World. One of the biggest crowds we've seen this year at Indianapolis Raceway Park have gathered for the USAC Silver Crown cars, the Pepsi 100. They've filled the grandstands and lined the banking.
Thanks to Dave Same. Hi, everybody, and talk about young and old, Larry Rice. And I can't even get it out tonight. Larry is a 2-time champion of the Silver Crown division who would love to be down there driving with you. We're going to hang on to him up here. We have been accused of being Jeff Gordon's PR agents on ESPN. The 19-year-old's had a phenomenal career, and just today he finishes 6th in a Busch Grand National race at Watkins Glen. Has to change clothes on the airplane. Not a bad hurdler. Runs across the track. His car is waiting. He qualifies 3rd quick.
Yes. I have a favorite quote about him. Dizzy Dean once said, it's not bragging if you've done it, and I done it. Well, everything we've said about Jeff Gordon is true. He's done it. He has one other important factor this year. He's run a lot of long races in NASCAR. That's helped him a lot. Outside of him is another guy, a veteran who's run a lot of long races. The Indianapolis 500 included, Stan Fox. The next row is old versus the new with Wally Pancratz, a veteran, and Eric Gordon, who I'm sure learned a lot from George Snyder.
Busch Grand National results at Watkins Glen today. Terry Labonte won the race from the pole with Joe Nemechek 2nd. Ernie Irvin, the only Winston Cup driver represented up there in the head of the field. Jeff Burton was 4th, Todd Bodine 5th, and Jeff Gordon began another one of those wild days, finishing 6th in that race and then jumping in the airplane and screaming back here to Indianapolis Raceway Park to do battle here tonight in the Silver Crown car. July the 3rd, the holiday weekend, the National Sprint Series will be up in Marnie, Michigan. And the next race for these cars will be on August the 10th, the Silver Crown Series for the Coors Light Hoosier 100. That's their biggest race of the year, and that'll be just across town at the Indiana State Fairgrounds.
Sunday night, thunder.
assembled field of superstars getting set to go out here and do battle in this Silver Crown 100 lapper here tonight. And this guy, as we get set to strap them in and turn them loose for 100 laps at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Stay with us. We're live at Indy.
To make the race. But we're not going to go down to Dave now. I think he's got something to say with Jeff Gordon.
Well, indeed, let's check in on the latest episodes of the flights of Air Gordon. It flew in today from up at Watkins Glen, New York, 16th to 6th in the Grand National Road Race today. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot. You know, everything went really well. We hung in there just like we wanted to. We wanted to just finish the whole thing out. Ended up 6th, you know, top 10. That's super.
Tell me about qualifying here. I saw you come running in, hurdle the fence, jump in the car, no practice, and then what?
Well, you know, it's really tough to be able to do that, but when you got a crew like these guys, you really can trust them. And I just really got to thank Rusty Rasmussen for getting in it and practicing all day and getting the car dialed in for me. And Bob East for building the super race car. You know, this thing's really fast. And, you know, we're doing really well. We've won 2 races so far. We're going to try to win this one. I just want to say one thing about the Coors Light AJ Foyt Hoosier Hunter that's coming up here in August. I'm really looking forward to that. And, you know, we're just going to try to win this one tonight.
Okay, man, good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
He's going to get strapped in and go to work for the second time today. Jeff Gordon, series point leader in the Silver Crown cars.
And in the second row, on the inside, there's the guy who has won the only 2 outings in these cars this season, the M&L Plumbing beast of Jeff Gordon and Stan Fox alongside. We're about to go back to green. Up in front, Jimmy Sills. Second is Jeff Gordon, and these two saw a lot of each other at the Indiana State Fairgrounds back in May because Gordon won it and Sills finished second. Good battle for second position. Those Parsons had a look to the inside as they restarted this race.
Yeah, those are very fast race cars. They have been all year. All 3 of those cars up front have been all very, very quick the last 2 or 3 years, and it's going to be, again, those 3 guys that are battling for the front.
Stan Fox slowing down the backstretch. Perhaps that contact may have damaged the beast number 9, the Jack Tool rental car of Stan Fox.
Very well could be. Uh-oh, we got more trouble up here in the front.
That's Consani's car. That's the Pioneer Concrete number 1. That's Jimmy Sills.
Man, they're dropping out of here like flies. Everything's going wrong all of a sudden to everybody. I can't believe it. Our 3 or 4 of the best cars here have all had trouble. Just bang, bang, bang. And it's left who in front? Jeff Gordon.
Well, Jeff Gordon out in front in the M&L Plumbing. Once again, he starts to open up a bit of a gap over Johnny Parsons.
Here's Ciccone. We see him pulling in the pits. We don't know exactly what happened to him, but he just kind of coasted in there.
Ciccone is such a crowd favorite. I think probably he and Jeff Gordon got the biggest round of applause when they were introduced. Well, let's look at the margin now between first and second and on back to third. Jeff Gordon enjoying over a 3.3-second lead.
USAC, the most diversified sanctioning body in auto racing, sanctions the Indianapolis 500-mile race for the 36th consecutive year in 1991 as part of a racing schedule involving over 150 exciting events. Having already awarded over $100 million in total prizes, USAC is bigger and better than ever. Become a part of the excitement. Write for more information about membership in the United States Auto Club. Don't miss another exciting lap. Be there when the next green flag waves.
We are back live at Indianapolis Raceway Park. A pack right there as we continue the Pepsi-Cola 100 as Jeff Gordon in that white number 4 now finds himself in heavy traffic.
He sure does. That's Trey House in that 3-in-1 car on the outside, the yellow car on the outside. Tony Elliott right in front of him on the left. He's boxed in. There's no place to go. Here Tony Elliott moves down. He's going to give him room to go through there. Very nice gesture by Tony Elliott. He didn't have to move down that far to give Jeff room, but Jeff couldn't take advantage of it, it looked like.
Well, the move over flag was displayed, the courtesy flag, so those drivers know that one of the leaders is right there, and indeed, Jeff is having trouble getting through.
Well, he wants to make sure when he goes around him, he doesn't use the tire up. He wants to get around him as quickly as he can without doing anything silly. So he's having to follow Tony Elliott and Trey House while they're running
look at
side by side.
Parsons has used this traffic to his advantage. He closes in. He takes a look to the inside. We're going to have a pass for the lead. Can he do it?
I think he can. That lighter car has its advantage in the traffic like this. He can run in place.
There's contact between Trey House and Gordon, and there's Parsons almost getting into it.
Parsons almost hit Gordon that time. That's real close. He's won that lead awfully bad for this early in the race. I didn't think he'd charge that hard, but man, he wants that lead bad.
Well, obviously, young Jeff was boxed in. The wily veteran Parsons knew it. He took advantage, and now he has the lead. Dropping Gordon. Robbie Stanley, we have seen him win here on ESPN, and he is standing by now out of the race with Dave Despain.
Hey, this race has not been kind to Saturday Night Thunder winners. Saccone's out, Sills is out, now Robbie Stanley. Robbie, what happened?
Well, we lost our power steering here about the 5th lap, and I thought, man, I'll hang with her all the way. There was no way I could hang with her anymore. I was kind of getting the guys away. I saw the leaders come up, and as soon as I saw the leaders go by, I said, that's enough. Let them guys race.
Can you describe to me what it's like to try to drive one of those things without the power steering?
Nope. You can't do it. On dirt, sometimes you can get away with it, but there's so much tire, so much bite with these tires, and these long corners that I repeat, you're in them so long, that right front tire is buried to the ground so hard, so not much sense trying.
Robbie Stanley, wisdom is the better part of valor. He's out of it for tonight. Back to the booth.
Well, let's see if we can pick up perhaps a lap time on Jeff Gordon to indicate if there is perhaps a problem with the tire or the engine, just the general chassis setup, because he went from that almost 4-second lead, lost it in traffic, now he's back to 3rd.
He's still running that race car so smooth that you can't tell whether it's loose or not. But I think
see some smoke? Did I see some smoke right there?
Yeah. He is a little loose. Might be some smoke that might be getting on the right rear tire that might be causing it to get a little loose. But he doesn't have much straightaway speed either. You see, who's that? Gary Heber behind him.
6 car.
Really gained a couple car lengths on him. He could have lost his brakes. That might be the reason he's going into the corner so easily.
Well, let's draw a comparison now, about a second slower than what Johnny Parsons is running out in the lead. So obviously there is a problem with that number 4 car, the ML Plumbing beast of Jeff Gordon. Dave Despain, we have kept you busy down there in the pit area. An update on perhaps what's wrong with Jeff Gordon.
That's been the question on my mind. We'll put that question to Fred Eade. Any idea, Fred, what's wrong with Jeff's car?
Not at the present right now. It's something wrong with the motor, and we don't know exactly what it is at the present time.
You got any theories about whether it'll last?
We're hoping so. We're riding to hunt the point championship, and we're just going to try to salvage what we can out of this race and go on to the Hoosier 100.
Fred Eade just trying to stay alive out here. Meanwhile, I've got Stan Fox with me. Stan was involved in that incident in turn 1. George Snyder said you ran into him. Is that the straight scoop?
I'll have to see it on the video. I never really saw him from my point in the car until I just felt a bump, and he was quite aware. I think he was behind me, hitting my right rear. Eventually, I broke the radius rod in the car, and that's why we're...
You had your own battle going on up there at the time of that incident, though, didn't you?
Well, yeah, I was trying to get around Wally, and I sort of looked like I was going to go in low. Wally committed to go in low, so I changed my line, and George must have been on the outside. And until I went and saw what happened, like I said, I never knew he was dead.
Stan Fox out for unrelated reasons here as we go back topside.
Watch him as he goes through. Watch that white line. He stays right straddle the white line all the way around. A very good line. Uh-oh, Jeff Gordon's finally going to pull in. He's finally going to give up the ghost. That's too bad. He had a great run going 2 in a row. That's tough to do in this division, but it just wasn't his night tonight.
Well, as you heard, he is in the points lead going through this race, and he wants to try to win the championship despite all of his commitments to the Busch Grand National cars.
Well, luckily for him, Jimmy Sills is the other one that's in the race, and he's already out. So there aren't a lot of guys that were right up front with him, had a lot of points that are still in this race.
There are many disappointed fans because this young driver is a spectator now. He is standing by with Dave Despain.
Well, it would have been a great Cinderella story to finish 6th in the Busch Grand National race, then fly here and win this one. Jeff, when did you feel it start to go bad on you?
I don't know. The motor just started missing really bad. I think it was just loading up with fuel. Seemed like it was getting too much fuel, but I tell you what, that beast was running tonight. I tell you, that thing was on a rail. I was just taking it easy, and I could just pass anybody at will, and it's just too bad because we had a really good car today. Things are going good. Oh well.
This is a tough question to answer. Can you tell me how frustrating it is to have a winning car and then have it all go away like that?
It's real frustrating, because it's not every race that you get that, this thing has been running so good the last 3 races. I didn't think anything could go wrong. This thing was just really working good. And I tell you, the tires, the car, everything's just running really good. Just like to thank these guys for coming out here and not knowing if I was even going to make it, it's just, I really owe a lot to my pilot, Henry Newell. He wanted me to say something for him, but I tell you, he's done a hell of a job getting me to these races, and I couldn't thank him enough.
You out of hats?
Well, there's a lot of people who want me to wear these hats, so again, I'd just like to I want everybody to come out to the Coors Light AJ Foyt Hoosier Hunter, because we're going to try to make it there, and we're going to try to win another one. And so there's a lot to win there. I think it's a $20,000 prize for winning both of them. So we're not shooting for that. We want to win. We want to win the points.
All right, that is Jeff Gordon. He's out for tonight. He'll lose his point lead very likely.
Bob, this is Busch Grand National Point Series leader Kenny Wallace. This is Jeff Gordon, one of the leading candidates for Rookie of the Year in the Busch Grand National Series. Kenny Wallace, you grew up in St. Louis, what's that, a couple hundred miles from here? This is your home track, right?
Well, this is my home track. I'm only about 3-4 hours away from here, And Jeff doesn't deserve the rights to this being his home track because he's really from California.
What do you think, Jeff? Is this your home track? Now, we've seen this fellow on Saturday Night Thunder winning these races. Is this your home track?
Most definitely. I live 8 miles down the road, and I've ran a lot more races here, and I tell you, we're looking for our first win here because got a lot of good fans here in Indianapolis, and this is definitely my home track.
What do you think the fans will be, 10-1 for Jeff Gordon tonight?
Oh, most definitely. Compared to Kenny Wallace, definitely.
Kenny, wait a minute. No, he said 10-1.
Oh, that's not true. I got hundreds of people coming up from St. Louis. They're going to be chanting Kenny, Kenny.
Hundreds.
Thousands.
Bob, these guys are going to be tough tonight, but they got Waltrip, Earnhardt, last year's champion Steve Grissom, and the front row of Ward Burton and Robert Presley. It'll be a very exciting race.
Saturday Night Thunder is open.
It's Saturday night, and look who's coming to town. The USAC Sprints and Midgets are on the road. Make way for NASCAR's Busch Grand National Division coming to Indianapolis Raceway Park. The series regulars will tell you they're getting shot at from 2 different directions. Just ask Tommy Houston with 23 career victories. Put the question to the legendary Jack Ingram on a farewell tour after 40 years. And Jimmy Hensley with 8 career victories, twice most popular, will tell you the kids are coming at him. There's teenage Jeff Gordon, who calls this his hometown track, and the Brother Brigade. Kenny Wallace, little brother of the former Winston Cup champ. Todd Bodine with 2 brothers in the big leagues. Bobby Labonte, second ranked in the series standings. Brother Terry taught him well. And from the other direction comes the heat of the Winston Cup regulars. They've got the weekend off from the Meat and Potato Series, so Davey Allison comes to Indianapolis Raceway Park and brings along old DW, Darrell Waltrip, a longtime campaigner in this series. And this guy, the 4-time Winston Cup champion, as intimidating here as he was 2 weeks ago en route to Talladega. Dale Earnhardt and all the rest have come to Indianapolis Raceway Park. Coverage presents Speed World. It is a very special Saturday night in Indianapolis, Indiana, and you can see that by the crowd. Spelling capacity with a capital C. We've jammed them into Indianapolis Raceway Park tonight. Perfect night for racing, especially if you're a Southern stock car star. You're used to heat and humidity, and yeah, a little bit of a chance of rain, but we're going to do everything we can to keep that out of here. It's been raining north of us all day, but right now it's looking pretty good for the show tonight. Hello, everybody. I'm Dave Despain. Welcome to a special edition of Saturday Night Thunder. It is the Busch Grand National Division of NASCAR, the 10th running of the Kroger 200-lapper here at Indianapolis Raceway Park. A race and a division definitely on the move. Now, a lot of times on the super speedways, these cars run as support events to the Winston Cup stock cars. But they're more than capable of demonstrating that they can be the main event, and I think the crowd that we've jammed into this place tonight certainly indicates that. These folks are hungry for stock car style racing.
Inside of row number 5 finds Ed Barrier. He's a second-generation driver. And then Jeff Gordon. He celebrates his 20th birthday tomorrow.
Row 6 inside Butch Miller. He won here in 1986. And Jeff Burton, the younger brother of our pole sitter, on the outside of row 6.
And we're going to be riding here with Jeff Gordon as we take a look at the rest of the starting lineup. Now, those first 12 were locked in. These next 10 made this 200-lap race, either by standing on their previous time or second-day qualifying. And there's some top names back here in the middle part of the field, including Bobby Hamilton, our outside row number 10. There's Dale Jarrett inside of row number 11, and Earnhardt starts on the outside of row number 12, and he's got a lot of traffic ahead of him.
A lot of traffic. These fellows had to go through the qualifying race. Resendez won the qualifying race. Earnhardt was second. That's how they started, 23rd and 24th. And there is the complete field.
Darrell Waltrip on the inside of row number 17 by virtue of promoter's option, and the two guys that did not make this field, Mike Oliver and John Linville, but that's because they were involved in a little bit of a skirmish during the qualifying race.
Crashed in the qualifying race coming off turn 4. The cars are going down pit road. They have to check their tachometers, see what kind of RPM they're running down the pit road right now, because that's as fast as they'll be able to go on pit road. Otherwise, there will be a penalty.
Jeff Burton's car, Jeff Gordon's car, the CarQuest Cage Cam, as we take a lap around Indianapolis Raceway Park, 5/8 mile oval.
Here's the line going in turn 1. We see just how high these cars are right up against the outside retaining wall.
And now, Jeff Gordon and Hut Strickland are battling nose to tail out there. Here is Jeff trying to work to the inside of Hut, and that is for the 9th position. He's got it. Jeff Gordon, a nice move coming off of turn 4.
He does. You can't pull a slide job in these cars like you did in the sprint cars and the midgets.
So Strickland loses a position. How about that? CarQuest, in-car camera, in Jeff Gordon's car, looking back on those following, as Jeff now has worked his way to 9th position, looking for his first Busch Grand National win, and even probably more important, some points for Rookie of the Year status, because he's second in the Rookie of the Year points right now. Carolina Ford dealer's machine. There he is on the racetrack. Just ahead of him is Dick Trickle. And there are the cars that have dropped out of the competition so far. Cecil Eunice, Dale Earnhardt, and Morgan Shepherd, who Dave just talked with. And there is Nemechek getting a little bit sideways coming out of the corner.
I think these fellas are really getting excited out there. They're going for it with all their might. Nemechek got bumped a little bit coming off turn 4, and sideways he went. But he never backed off the throttle.
Jimmy Hensley comes off the number 4 corner and completes 100 laps. There's a halfway point, and look, Jeff Gordon and Dick Trickle are still going at it, and Chuck Brown and Nemechek are touching.
Man, I'm telling you.
But as we go back to green, look at Benny's guy right up front. Back to Benny and Bob.
Yeah, my guy isn't doing real good. Oh, look, Ward Burton in trouble as the green flag comes out in turn 1, and a big crash as numerous cars are going to be involved in this one.
This is a big-time crash with 5 or 6 cars involved. And it looked like that Ward Burton went down in turn 1 and the right front tire was flat because the car just simply refused to turn.
A lot of damage to a lot of cars. There's Ward backing up in the 27 car and trying to get headed in the right direction.
Basically working on the left side. It's a major body job. I think this is going to take a while. And Jeff Gordon, not Robbie Gordon, Jeff Gordon didn't get through that unscathed. He's got some right front damage as well. Bobby Donner is just coming down pit road. He's got the right front all crunched up. So it was a multi-car tangle for sure. And I think we've got another look at it as we watch Kenny Wallace wait disconsolately for his car to become rolling stock once again.
It happened just as the green flag came out, Benny.
It looked like the 27 car, as I said, the car just wouldn't turn. He goes up, hits Kenny Wallace. We see Kenny back in the wall and black car on just the left side of the screen. And meanwhile, the 27 car stopped in the middle.
Now let's go inside Jeff Gordon's car and see how he became involved.
Ooh, there's the 49 car directly in front of him, so he took a direct hit on the right front.
There were 7 cars involved in that crash, including Wallace and Gordon, also the 33 of Ed Barrier. Of course, Ward Burton was also involved in the crash. Dave Resendiz, as Wallace waits for the crew to get this car fixed so he can get back there in competition. And they're also working on Jeff Gordon's car, as the Carolina Ford dealer's machine has been damaged, but hopefully not out of this Kroger 200 on Saturday Night Thunder from Indianapolis Raceway Park. Green flag comes out. We're back to racing on the 124th lap now. Jimmy Hensley, the leader of the race in car number 25, as they head down the backstretch for the first time. 7 cars were involved in that crash that began when the accelerator stuck wide open on Ward Burton's car. Now, one of those involved was Jeff Gordon, but we ride with him, and apparently Jeff got the repairs done to that car.
Looks like that the damage was not that severe. He's back on the racetrack. Sheet metal's cut away, and back racing again.
CarQuest in-car camera with Jeff Gordon as he maneuvers around this 5/8 mile track at Indianapolis Raceway Park in our final Saturday Night Thunder edition for 1991. Dave?
Quick observation about Jeff Gordon. He was involved in that altercation in turn 1. We checked with car owner Bill Davis. He said the steering is a little bit off, but it's not just right and terrible, I believe was the way he put it. So they think they can still get out there and race.
Well, he'll be very competitive to the end if he can be. To win this race is going to be black flag, while the guy that Benny picked, oh boy, I hate to admit this, but the guy Benny picked is leading the race.
There we see Robert Preston, the Alliance Truck Center's automobile, and he has been black flagged for changing a right front tire on the caution flag that he had already changed before. This is a 2-lap penalty. Dave Despain told you earlier in the race you can only change 1 tire per position. He'd already changed the right front tire. He came in, changed it again. Now he's been penalized for 2 laps. This was her outside pole sitter, and a fellow who had a heck of a chance winning.
And he was running in the top 5, has been just about all evening. The point standings in Rookie of the Year competition, David Green on top with Jeff running in 2nd position. Then Tracy Leslie, Ed Faree, and Troy Beebe are the top 5 points getters in the Rookie of the Year standing in Grand National competition. And we are with Jeff Gordon, who is on the lead lap in 10th position. Here's another guy, of course, who considers this his home racetrack. He only lives about 8 miles down the road and has driven many, many a mile in sprint and midget competition on this racetrack. Meanwhile, Jeff Gordon is not doing all that well. It has been reported that this car is missing, and that's going to mean that Jeff Gordon is going to be dropping back. Meanwhile, on the racetrack, there is Jeff in the Carolina Ford dealer's Ford, car number 1. Jeff Gordon from Pittsburgh, Indiana.
I'll tell you what, this has been a tough race tonight. There's very few cars running around tonight that doesn't have some type of damage on them.
And we mentioned the fact that Jeff Gordon's car may be missing. Let's get more on that story from Dave.
Bill Davis owns that car. You had a handling problem after the crash, but you got a worse problem now. What's going on?
Yeah, the handling problem is not too bad. The car is really not good. We've got some sort of ignition problem, either in the ignition box or the battery. It misses at the end of the straightaway, and of course, it's lost a lot of power.
Let me ask you a broader question. What do you like about Jeff Gordon? What attracted you to this kid?
I like everything about Jeff Gordon. There's nothing I don't like about Jeff Gordon. He's a wonderful young man, a great talent. He's got a wonderful future.
In car number 96. So Bobby Labonte stands to gain as far as the NASCAR Grand National points are concerned. There you see Gordon on the right and Green on the left in the pits.
And Jeff Gordon in the 1 car, the blue and white 1 car, came in as the caution flag was waving. If he was going to be able to continue, he would have stayed on the racetrack to save the lap. So he came directly into the pits. So whatever problem he has, I think, might be terminal.
And Jimmy Hensley walks from his race car through the infield.
There is a notable absence from today's field. Five-time Grand National champion Jack Ingram was scheduled to make his final short track appearance before retirement. However, on the way back from Indianapolis last weekend, his crew chief son, Robbie Ingram, was fatally injured in a traffic accident in Kentucky. He is survived by a wife and 3 children, and if you wish to make a contribution to help them with the many expenses they'll face over the years, you can do that by addressing it to the Robbie Ingram Memorial Fund, Wachovia Bank, 1 Vermont Avenue in Asheville, North Carolina, and the zip code is 28704. We'll be right back.
One thing you wanted to say before we went off.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to Jack Ingram. Jack, we feel for you, buddy, and we're all thinking about you here. Our thoughts go out to you and your wife and the whole family.
Kenny Wallace on the pole for today's race, but we can't get the event going until we get the words to gentlemen to fire their engines. Let's go trackside.
Ladies and gentlemen, to give us the command, the president of Burns Food Stores, Mr. Richard Terrell.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
Grammy-winning Vince Gill joins the Grand Ole Opry live tonight at 8:30 Eastern on TNN.
We're under caution for the second time this afternoon as you see David Green up into the second spot having an excellent run, and the other strong rookie contender for that rookie championship, Jeff Gordon, down in the 5th spot. So the rookies at this point are availing themselves quite nicely.
Wallace, we got trouble right now in turn number 4. Jeff Gordon in car number 1 has spun around, made no contact with another car or the wall, rights himself, and continues on, no caution flag.
Chuck Bound got by, so Jeff Gordon, who had a very strong run, the rookie from Pittsboro, Indiana, goes down 1 lap in that Carolina Ford dealer's Ford Thunderbird. Tough break for him. He really was getting around this racetrack strongly.
He was in 6th position at the time, as we'll look at it once again, battling for 5th with Bobby Labonte.
He just simply turned the car too low down on the racetrack for the speed he was running. The back end came out from under him. The car's probably a little loose at this point in the race. He did a tremendous job of spinning the car around and losing no more time than he did.